Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, also known as ETCG1 when I wear this hat. Here on ETCG1 we talk about stuff. We don't do repair videos, but if you like repair videos, I do plenty of those over on my Eric the Car Guy channel. A link will be in the description. You can click that and go there and watch all the repair videos you like. This may be the last video that I shoot for 2013, both Eric the Car Guy and ETCG1. So I thought I would just sort of touch on a few things that happened last year, which would be 2013, which I have to say was quite a banner year for my channels. Both of them, both Eric the Car Guy and ETCG1. I believe I started out the year on Eric the Car Guy with about 100,000 subscribers, and I was very happy to have crossed that mark. It was about January when that happened. As of right now, we're in December of 2013, December 5th to be precise, and I have somewhere around 340,000, so an increase of 240,000 subscribers in 1 year. That is incredible, and I have you to thank for that, and I thank you seriously from right here. What I do really means nothing if nobody's watching. The fact that you're watching, commenting, responding, participating in the discussions, you know, for somebody like me who makes my living doing this, it's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever to have engaged your audience, to have reached your audience, and to have that kind of interaction. So I'm very fortunate in that sense, and that is in large part due to you. So thank you. Thank each and every one of you for watching, subscribing, participating over on my forum. You know, just I owe you. I owe you. And I try to pay you back at those meetups that I have at the end of the year, and I hope to have one of those again in 2014. Because 2013 was so successful, there are a lot of opportunities that have come about that haven't been realized yet, and I hope to realize in the coming year. As a result of those opportunities, however, things are going to change a little bit more with the channel. I'm not really at liberty to talk about any of those things yet, but it's my hope that it takes things to the next level. I think you can see by the new GoPro cameras that I got, that I've used for the introduction to the Fairmont that's behind me, that I really hope to take things in a new direction, a better direction. Now that the channel has had the success that it has, I can afford to start doing more things. And probably one of those things is I'm probably gonna look to find somebody to help me out in shooting these videos, because it's quite a chore. Any of you out there that do what I do know that it's a lot of work to try and set up every shot, to try and come up with engaging content, to just keep the whole thing going. And I've been doing this myself now for as of January, Eric the Car Guy I believe will be 6 years old. Yeah, 2009. No, it'll be 6. Let's see. Yeah, it'll be 5 years old. Eric the Car Guy, do math. So yeah, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time, and I'm very much looking forward to the coming year. I am going to be taking some time off. I'm going to be taking off the rest of 2013, starting on the 23rd of December, so you won't get a video from ETCG1 on that day. I'm pretty much going to take a step back and be Eric for a while, and not Eric the Car Guy. I'll be back, I believe, January 6th or something like that. I'm taking 2 weeks off. I need it. I need it. I've been going like a madman for the past few months. First it was the website. That's the other thing. I forgot to even talk about the redesign of the website and everything that came along with that. Special thanks to Wyatt Talley, for my developer, for helping that come to pass. He's done a tremendous amount of work on the site. So all the cool stuff you see on the site, well, I might come up with the ideas and come up with some good images and provide content, but he's the one that works the nuts and bolts and all the switches and things in the background. So he deserves a lot of a lot of credit for that. So thank you, Wyatt. Also, I'd like to thank College Man, also known as Paul K, over on the forum. He has been a tremendous help to me when I'm not able to go to the forum to answer questions. He's been there. And also our newest forum moderator, Toyota Carl, who we'll call Eric C. I really appreciate your help, guys. I mean, you really help the whole thing come together. And you know what? I can't forget about the premium members of EricTheCarGuy.com. Thank all of you for helping to support the site. and all of the people that travel out to see me at the meetups. Thanks to all of you. All of you are great. and I hope to see you again next year. So all of you make what I do just awesome. So now back to you, Eric, and all the rest of you that are regulars over on the forum that have been showing up. I appreciate all of your contributions, all the help that you've provided the people that are there, in addition to myself. So thank you. I mean, it's really made the site a place to where you can go and you can get the answers that I promise you at the end of the videos. As far as emailing me your automotive questions, I'm saying I'm so far behind on that I don't know what I'm going to do. Because last I looked, I think there were over 1,600 emails in the Eric the Car Guy inbox. And whenever I see that number, whenever I look at those things, it's really, really hard for me to try and slog through that stuff. And mostly what I'm doing is referring people to the website. There are some other emails in there that I'd like to get to, but once the day-to-day operations of Eric the Car Guy kick in, there's very little time for much else. And I do spend, at least try to spend, an hour or so or more on the forum every day during the week so that I can answer your questions, because that's where I tell you to go. So I try to answer those personally for as much as I can. But don't forget about the other resources, all the articles that I've written. I practically wrote a book on just general maintenance, diagnosis, and of a few things over there on the website. And that's all those block articles you see when you first get there. So don't be afraid to utilize those. I mean, and many times, you know, I'll read a question and the answer is in either those articles, or with a quick search of the website, there's a forum response that either myself or somebody else has responded to, and the answer is there. So that's what I've tried to do. It was my field of dreams. I built it, and you have been coming to ericthecarguy.com, but the idea is that I knew that there would come a day where I would no longer be able to keep up with the volume of requests that I get for repair help. And that day has come and gone, actually. So the website was an attempt to try to address that. I didn't want to leave any of you hanging. I hate doing that. I really do. It weighs on my conscience heavily that I'm not able to respond to everybody's questions and help you each on an individual basis. But it's just, at this point, it's just not possible. And I wish that I could. I try as much as I can and continue to try as much as I can, but, you know, there's only one of me, and there's a whole lot of you, and I'm grateful for a whole lot of you, and I will do everything I can for you. And one of the things I can do is try to make the best darn videos that it's humanly possible. And as I said, I hope to continue to take that in bigger and better directions in the coming year. A couple of things I'll cover real quick here over last year's and some of the videos. Things I said that I regret saying. One of those things was during the video in the introduction to the Fairmont, I referred to Jap vehicles. That's a derogatory term, and it just sort of came out. It's something that I've said for years, and I regret saying it. I apologize if I offended anybody by saying that. Cummins. It's Cummins, not Cummings. And I apologize to all you Dodge and Cummins fans. Once again, it was just one of those things that I said I didn't think about. But, you know, when you're doing what I do, stuff like that happens. You make a mistake in either shooting the video, or you know, there's all kinds of potential for things to go wrong, and you to have to clean up a mess somewhere. And that was one of the other things. One of the most popular videos that I put out last year on ETCG1 was the domestics versus imports. And some of you got the impression that I was anti-union. That's not where I'm coming from with that. What I was trying to do was I was trying to compare and contrast what the Asian vehicle makers do, because there are Asian vehicle makers here in the United States that have manufacturing facilities that are non-union. Honda being one of them, I know for sure, and I don't think I don't think Toyota is, Nissan, and therefore they have cheaper labor. And I'm not saying union labor is junk. What I'm saying is union labor is more expensive, and as a result, there may not be as much money left in the till to finance better parts. And that was what I was trying to make the comparison of. From what I see, and that 79 behind me, I think is a prime example of where I think American manufacturing took a nosedive, and where the Asian makes came in and took over, because right around that time that's a 79 I owned back there. Love the car, but if you look at the build quality, if you look at it, you can see primer through the paint. And I don't believe that the car's been repainted. I think it's the original paint on the car. Also, the way it's put together, the fit and finish is nowhere near what I've seen in Asian makes of the same vintage. I also owned a 1979 Honda Accord that I drove for some time. I really drove the snot. I beat the crap out of that car. I mean, come on, I was 18, 19 years old. driving around. Like I drove that thing through fields. I did I did horrible things to that car, but it took it all in stride and was happy for it. It enjoyed the abuse. Had I done the same thing of something of the same vintage, I seriously don't think that it would have survived some American make. And it's hard to say why that happened. A lot of you know, global political situations came about with that. I'm not saying unions are the things that destroyed that, because a lot of good people work in unions. And you know, I'm an American, and I stand behind my fellow Americans. And I don't want it to put it out there that that's what I was saying, that I was anti-union, and I'm not at all. I was merely trying to make the comparison of, okay, if you've only got so much money to make a vehicle, that if you spend all your money on your labor force making that vehicle, you've got to make up for it somewhere. I got a ton of response for my Reliable POS video. A lot of you, I think, come from that same philosophy, and I think that's one of the reasons why you're watching my show, and I think that's one of the reasons I became who I am, because I'd been fixing my own things for years before I actually became a mechanic. Not saying I did it well or knew what I was doing, but I come from that same place. I come from the same place, I think, as a lot of you, and I think that's why we identify with each other so much, and why we like having things like reliable POSs. Speaking of reliable POSs, the 1993 Vigor that I picked up a couple of weeks ago, that may become a reliable POS. I've got a video on that you should have seen by now, probably last week, and the reason the trunk is open is because I'm dealing with that water that was in the trunk. The trunk was all filled with water, so I'm trying to dry that out. And then we have to find out why that happened and such, but that's for another video. But yeah, reliable POSs. I think a lot of us come from that place, either because of our socioeconomic standing, or because we just appreciate the fact that, you know, we just want to get where we're going. Luxury cars, that touched on that also. And I'm not saying I'm against luxury cars. Heck yeah, I love driving luxury cars. I mean, having a luxury car is great. You know, the heated seats and all the, you know, fun toys that come with a luxury car, not to mention the status. I don't have a problem with them. I was just posing a philosophical question and throwing it out there and saying, hey, what are your thoughts? And that's a lot of what I do here on ETCG1. This is our conversation. I'd also like to give a shout out to all my Twitter people. Twitter this year really grew a lot for me, and I've been getting into it more and more and connecting with a lot of you via Twitter. Also with Google+, the live hangouts that I've been doing. And there's so much that came in with this year with There at the Car Guy. It's not even funny, including the 3 vehicles behind me. You may notice also the Element has fog lights in it. I've shot video on that, and I still haven't had a chance to edit it. I hope to get to that early next year. That was a fun video. It really was. I enjoyed it very much. And there's a lot to it though. It's one of those things where I get stuck. I ran into quite a few issues when shooting that video, which basically made it to where I have a few hours worth of footage. And by the time all is said and done, I can have a very tight hour's worth of footage. And then I put out this, I struggle with this. I say to myself, well, do I really want to put out an hour-long fog light video? But that's what I may end up doing. But to me, it's interesting. And I hope it's interesting to you also. So that's what I intend to do more of, just more interesting stuff. I'm very excited about the Fairmont. We're not going to jump right in with performance videos with the Fairmont. I've got some ideas with that and how we could use that as a learning tool. And I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to try a few things with that and see how that works. But you know, I definitely have my work cut out for me in the coming year, and that's one of the reasons why I want to take a break. I've done a ton of work up to this point, and I'm just ready to kick back a little bit. But best job in the world. This is the best job I've ever had, hands down, and it's all of you that make that possible. So once again, I'm putting my thanks out to you, the viewers. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, like I said, participating in the forum, going to the website, all that stuff. All that stuff makes what I do possible, that much more fun, and it makes me want to get up in the morning and do more of this. So I'm looking forward to a happy and prosperous 2014. I'm gonna sign off and see you guys in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna just sort of step back a little bit. You've got videos for the rest of this week. I think I've got a live show coming up on Wednesday, and then we've got the conclusion to, I believe, the Subaru timing belt. is what you're going to get with that. And then after that, I'm signing off and coming back after my vacation. So I will close this down now. I feel like I've talked for a while, but I thank you for watching and getting through this part of it. Hey, if you have automotive questions, where do we go? Yeah, that's right, ericthecarguy.com. Welcome video tells you about all the wonderful features that we have there to assist you with your automotive repair help. If you wish to connect with me socially, it's Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. I close each of my videos with be safe, have fun, and stay dirty, and I wish you a safe, prosperous, and happy new year, and happy holiday, whatever denomination, flavor you are. Doesn't matter to me. You're all good. Be safe, have fun, stay dirty. I will see you next year.